All right. I'm on my Kevin Hart shit. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Tom Talks podcast. It's your boy, Tom, and we are once again talking about leading off the show with baseball news. The Phillies, both the Phillies and the Rangers, are up in their series 2-0. Let's talk about my team, my Phillies team, against the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks were very hot coming into the playoffs, and they have seemed to have just stumbled into us, and we are admittedly the better team right now, which is crazy for me to say because we're used to being the underdogs. But right now, right as far as right now, knocking on wood, we are dominating. We crushed that ass last night, 10-0. And now Thursday, we play on Thursday, going to Arizona for 2 straight days. Hopefully we can get the sweep. But as I say, I'm hoping we get the sweep. But I think they might win one of the game. They might win game three. I don't know. And speaking of game threes, the Rangers and Astros, they're both playing. They're playing tonight, and I know Houston has struggled a little bit this year, but they are way too good to get swept. I don't think Houston will get swept. They're gonna put up a fight. Now, but the way the Rangers are playing, all nine of their players can actually hit the baseball. Like, I'm afraid to face the Rangers because all nine players in the lineup can hit the baseball very well. And when I say that, what I mean is because of that, because the Phillies, compared to my team, the Phillies, Johan Rojas, he only has one hit this entire postseason, and and yes, he may not be in the starting lineup because of his hitting, and he's only there because of his defense. But you still need everybody to step up. I mean, yes, of course, he stepped up like during the field. He stepped up obviously, but at the same time, you still need everyone to step up, batting, hitting as well. Now, Bohm's gotten better. Bohm starting to get out of his slump. Stott's getting out of his slump a little bit. We have the two young guys are getting out of their slumps. Same with Marsh. So it's a perfect timing for us for more players to get hot. So I think at the end of the day, um, so this is my series prediction. My series prediction is the Phillies. We are going to. I know I sound cocky right now, but we're going to sweep the Diamondbacks. I just do not see our momentum stopping against this team. The Diamondbacks, to their credit, other than last night, they actually almost came back in game one. They're only down by 2 runs. They were in the position a couple of times to come back and at least tie the game up. But our defense stepped up, our field stepped up well enough to stop them, and it ended with a 5-4-3 double play to end the game. And obviously last night we crushed that ass 10-0. And now I think the Phillies are going to keep that momentum going, and we're going to be up. We're just going to sweep them both Thursday and Friday. As for the Houston Texas series, like I said before, I find it very hard that the Houston Astros are going to get swept because they're still a very good baseball team. Rangers only have the fifth seed because they lost the last game of the year. Because I believe they have the same record, but Houston has the head-to-head advantage. The Astros are better at home, so I feel like Texas is still going to win. I just feel like the Rangers are going to win at least in like 6 games. So the World Series, I think, will be the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Texas Rangers. And no matter what, obviously, I'm going to ride with my squad, the Phillies. I think we're going to win the whole goddamn thing. And I hope we win the whole goddamn thing. That's it for the baseball portion. Now we're going to quickly recap Week 6. I didn't get to, kind of like last week, I didn't get to see all of the games, so I don't have much of an opinion on a lot of the games. I saw a couple of the highlights, not all of them. So 19-8, I think we all knew the Chiefs were going to win, but the story is Russell Wilson struggled once again. The offense did not look good. Sean Payne did not look good. So We're gonna see what happens. I don't know if Russell Wilson's gonna get benched this year. It sounds like from what they're all saying, he's not gonna get benched. But the Broncos are gonna be selling a lot of pieces. They're probably just gonna tank for either they might tank for one of the top draft positions for a quarterback, or who knows what they're gonna do. Who knows who they're gonna draft? They need help everywhere. Ravens beat the Titans 24-16. I saw most of that game. The offense looked like they picked it up a little bit, but the defense over the Ravens is still dominant. They're still one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, that's a Baltimore trait. They're always going to have a great defense, no matter where, no matter what generation, whether it's 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Now they're always going to have great defense and great defensive players. That's like the backbone of the Baltimore Ravens. Titans aren't Titans are struggling. They're not going to do that well. I don't know if Vrabel's on the hot seat, but Tannehill did get hurt again, so he's going to be out for a while. Looks like Malik Willis is going to be in there for the rest of the year. I don't know for the rest of the year, but either Malik Willis or maybe eventually Will Levis will get to see him in action. I was wrong about the. Actually, I was. Did I say the Falcons are going to be the Commanders? I don't remember. But Commanders won either way. Um, Once again, Desmond Ritter, not that good of a quarterback. He turned the ball over, I believe, what was it, like 3 times in the second half. But yeah, Desmond Ritter did not do a good job. But I mean, somehow they're 3-3. Commanders got back up to 500. Vikings beat the Bears 19-13. Not a surprise there whatsoever. Even without Justin Jefferson, even though Vikings squeaked out a win, still not that good. Bengals barely beat the Seahawks 17-13. It looks like Joe Burrow looks a lot better, and he's getting the ball to Jamar Chase. That seems to be the key for the Bengals. Get the ball to Jamar Chase, and things will be fine. And now, look at here. The Cleveland Browns hold off the San Francisco 49ers by 2 points, thanks to a miss by the rookie kicker. I was able to see most of this game. That Browns defense is legit. Myles Garrett is legit. Even though San Francisco had McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel out for the rest of the game, both got hurt, both got injured, and were out for the rest of that game. Cleveland stepped up and they did what they needed to do, even with PJ Walker as your quarterback. So good on the Browns. Hopefully, Deshaun Watson can return from his rotator cuff injury sooner for them rather than later. Saints lose the Texans 13-20 because they play Thursday. The Texans, they're the biggest surprise in the NFL, in my opinion, when it comes to like teams that are getting better. Like teams that were expected to be much better, the Texans are definitely the team, number one surprise in my opinion, because with all the commotion of them firing two coaches 2 years in a row, hiring D'Amico Ryans, not knowing if he's going to stay for the whole year. Unquestioned at the quarterback position, they picked C.J. Stroud, Ohio State kid who's not really that good. Like, not saying C.J. Stroud hasn't been good, but like the narrative has been that Ohio State quarterbacks don't translate well into the NFL. But it seems C.J. Stroud seems to be breaking that trend, and he is kicking ass for them. Everyone's stepping up for him. It's pretty interesting to see, if we're being honest. So hope they might be they're a team that could sneak into the wild card playoffs, and if they sneak into the playoffs, whether they win division or not, I think D'Amico Ryans will be coach of the year. Now this next game, the Jags beat the Colts 37-20. Now bad news. The only major headline is that Anthony Richardson is officially done for the year. He's getting shoulder surgery, and he's going to be done for the rest of the year. Gunnar Minshew's going to take over. Maybe he can lead the Colts to the playoffs instead of the Texans, but that's going to be a fun. I think the Colts will be an interesting team to keep your eye on for the rest of the year, along with him and with Jonathan Taylor getting back at it. And I believe the Jags, the only thing is that Trevor Lawrence got injured. I don't know how serious the injury is, but their game is tomorrow. Dolphins crushed the Panthers 42-21, not a surprise whatsoever. It's unfortunate for Carolina that they're 0-6, but with a rookie quarter, and I don't think it's because of the rookie quarter. I haven't really been watching them a lot this year, but the Panthers has been struggling off just everywhere, offensively, defensively, just the whole thing. they're just struggling. So maybe Carolina will turn around and get one win eventually. Hopefully they do. I don't want to see the Panthers go 0-17. And Dolphins are doing Dolphin things. They're just dominating as they always do. Raiders beat the Patriots 21-17. Game ended with a Max Crosby safety. Good. So the Raiders are back at 500, and they're in second place in the division now, which is shocking because I didn't think they're going to be in second place. And Patriots are continuing struggling. Matt Jones is continuing to not prove that he's either A, he's not the guy, or B, that he can't run Bill O'Brien's offense. So he might be benched. Haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything out of New England yet, but I don't. But he might be benched soon, or they're gonna tank and they're gonna draft one of the top quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens with the Patriots. Lions beat the Bucks 20-6, like I called it. Like I said, the Lions are legit. Their defense is legit. Their offense is legit. Jared Goff is legit. The whole team is just legit. And it's honestly fun to see it. I'm happy for Detroit. They've had little to zero success when it comes to football, the Lions, since 20, like, damn near, no, not damn it, it must have been 30 years since they've won the division title. And it seems like at this point, it seems like they're going to run away with the division. And the Bucks, they just didn't show up, which they didn't show, which is a rarity. Rams beat the Cardinals. Not really much to say. Rams doing Rams things, beating the Cardinals. Can really skip that one. I don't think anything stood out. And unfortunately, my Eagles. God, so much to say about this game. Paper thin defensive backs. A lot of players are injured and out. Lane Johnson's scare. Gave up a couple sacks. Jalen Hurts, 3 terrible interceptions. And and players dropping the football, players not running enough to get a pass. So Devontae Smith dropped 2 crucial catches that he normally doesn't drop. Goddard had that god awful drop that somehow led to an interception by Quentin Williams, and just another interception by Jalen Hurts looking right at the guy. So everyone in the offense played absolutely terrible. Oh yeah, I forgot DeAndre Swift fumbled the football too. So everybody on the fucking offense played god awful. The defense did what they could, and everyone just kept on getting hurt in our defensive backfield. But I believe a lot of our players are coming back. I believe I read that Lane Johnson is actually going to be fine for the Dolphins game, which is a huge relief. And I probably also signed Julio Jones to a 1-year deal, which I found to be a very fascinating sign. We have 2 great wide receivers already, and there's nothing wrong with adding a third, but like Julio Jones doesn't seem to be like doesn't seem to have that gas in the tank anymore. But I will give credit when credit is due. The Jets, they had a great defensive plan, and Zach Wilson took care of the football. Zach Wilson did not turn the football over. That's the reason why they won the game. So congrats to the Jets on beating us. You're 500. And Aaron Rodgers might be coming back sooner rather than later. I don't think he's going to come back probably not till December, but at the earliest. But we'll see. I'm not sure how the Achilles works. I know how it works, but I don't know how the recovery for the Achilles happens. I know Cam Akers got injured. When the Rams won the Super Bowl, Cam Akers got hurt, I believe, in training camp, and he got back just in time for the playoffs. But that was an extra month, so it was 4 or 5 month recovery. If the Jets don't make the playoffs, I don't think Rodgers is going to come back. And I find it very hard to believe that he's going to come back in December if they're not in the playoff hunt. And the last game, Bills barely beat the Giants 14-9. They scored 2 touchdowns near the end of the game, and they just, not that they struggled, they just didn't do, for whatever reason, they just didn't show up until the fourth quarter, according to what I've seen. And then, unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys beat the LA Chargers, but that's not surprising because the Chargers are a very mediocre team. Just LA Chargers doing LA Charger things. Just Herbert's trying to do all the work, and the defense isn't stopping anybody. They're one of the worst ranked defenses in the league, and they allowed Dallas to drive down the field. Justin Herbert couldn't get any protection from his offensive line. But like, yeah. So both Herbert and the whole team, all the whole Chargers are struggling. So let's just say that Chargers are not as good, not they're not that good of a team as I thought they were going to be so far. They should be better than 2-3, but I'm wrong. So let's make our prediction for this week's games. Jags at Saints. I'm I don't know what Trevor Lawrence's health is going to be like. I think he's questionable for the game. If Trevor Lawrence plays, I think the Jaguars will win. But if he's not going to play, I think the Saints win at home. So that's what I'll say. If Trevor Lawrence plays, I'm going to go with the Jags. If he doesn't, I'm going with the Saints. And now, already, this is probably the best game record wise. One of the two best games record wise when it comes to overall football. Lions at Ravens. This this is really interesting because Lions have a great offense. And their defense has improved much better. Meanwhile, the Ravens have a great defense and their offense is not struggle, but like they haven't been up. They haven't lived up to the hype that I think we all hyped them up too much to be in the offseason. But nonetheless, this will still be a really good game. And I think, again, I don't know who's favored, but I'm going with the Lions on the road again. I'm going with the Lions on the road. I trust Detroit. I don't know. I just trust Detroit. They won 4 in a row. Raiders at Bears. That's not much to say. I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders. I think they're going to beat the Bears pretty handily. Browns at Colts. This is a very interesting game. Um, I don't know if Deshaun Watson's coming back for this game. I haven't heard anything, but I don't think it matters. I'm going with the Browns on the road against the Colts because I don't know. I like Gardner Minshew. I know he knows Shane Steichen's offense, but I don't know if they're going to be good enough against the Browns defense. The Browns defense is one of the best in the league, easily top five. And this other one game, Bills at Patriots. Buffalo's going to beat the Patriots. I'm not going to say handily because it's a division game, but I think the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Patriots pretty, at least by 10 points. Commanders at Giants. Unfortunately, going to go. I like to see the Giants upset them, but that's probably not going to happen. So Commanders are going to win pretty handily. Falcons at Bucks, a division game. I'm going to go with the Bucks at home. I think they're going to bounce back and finally beat. They're going to beat the division rival Falcons. Steelers at Rams. Steelers had the bye week and they beat the Ravens last week. They beat the Ravens the week before they got on their bye week. So yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting game. The Rams really don't have a lot of people on defense except for Aaron Donald, and it all depends if the offensive line can protect Stafford from T.J. Watt. So I don't know. It's kind of a coin flip of a game, actually. I'm gonna go with the Rams at home, just barely by field goal. Let's see. Cardinals at Seahawks. Sorry, Seahawks are gonna win pretty easily. Packers at Broncos. Packers had a bye week. Broncos continue to struggle. So I'm gonna go with the Packers. They're gonna find a way to win on the road. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs pretty handily, pretty easily. Chargers dropped to 2-4. Oh, and the Sunday night game, Dolphins at Eagles. Oh God, this game terrifies me. It terrifies me because I don't know who's going to come back on the defensive side. I'm hoping Jalen Carter can come back. I'm hoping Darius Slay can come back at the least. I think Reed Blankenship might be healthy enough. Trying to think who else is injured. Oh, Roby. I think he's week to week. Supposedly he's a week to week injury guy. Um, Dolphins offense scares me. Tua scares me. I believe Tua is the lead candidate for MVP as of right now. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure, but I believe he's definitely up there in the top five for MVP votes. Um, but the Dolphins defense sucks dick too. So this is gonna be a battle of the offenses, and whichever defense gets one stop, and I think our defense is good enough to get one stop. So I think we're going to win, but it's gonna be very, very close. I think it's gonna somehow be like a 1 point game. It's gonna be like 24-23 us. I just hope I hope we don't do what the Broncos did, just give up 70 fucking points. That would be terrifying. The only thing we need, but what I know what the Eagles need to do is they need to watch that Bills tape and see what the Buffalo Bills did to them. because supposedly they just got physical with them. They figured out how to beat them. They figured out how to beat them pretty handily. But so yeah, we'll see. But but the Dolphins also had a lot of injured players in that game as well, and they're relatively more healthy than they were back then. So, like I said, I'm still going with my birds, but it's very uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but like it's gonna be a close game. And last but not least, the 49ers are at the Vikings. Once again, like I said, Vikings aren't that good of a team this year. I expected them to be much better. I didn't think they're gonna win the division. Like a lot of people, I'm on the Lions bandwagon for the NFC North, but I expect the Vikings to at least put up a fight. Be like not end up the season like 9-8, like around 500, maybe compete with the Lions for the division. But Justin Jefferson being hurt doesn't help them out a lot, and they'll probably be sellers at the trade deadline. They might trade. There's a lot of trade rumors going around with their third wide receiver, KJ Osborne. There's trade rumors going around with Harrison Smith, Daniil Hunter. So be interested to see what they do with those three players. But as for now, they're going to be playing. And I trust. And unfortunately, San Francisco is still one of the better teams in football, even though they lost to Cleveland. So I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Minnesota Vikings. And that will be it for this week's episode. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun shit. Catch y'all next week for another episode, and hopefully make my official it's probably when the World Series will actually start. And hopefully the Phillies will be in it. And hopefully the Phillies will be winning the World Series. Peace.